It's the Sumo Show, the podcast that discusses everything that's going on in Japanese Grand Sumo. Whether you've been steeped in sumo lore since the Heisei era, like me, Stan, or you're a dedicated fan who wants to get deeper into what's happening on and off the dojo, like our good friend Troy, or you're brand new to the world of sumo and just want to learn what it's all about. No matter how much you know about the sport, the Sumo Show has something for you. So let's throw some purifying salt into the ring, do a few big Shiko foot stomps, and see what's new on this week's episode of the Sumo Show. So konnichiwa, everyone, and Okaedi, welcome back to my co-host Troy.
Hello, happy end of year,
and welcome to the Bonenkai. I'm glad you could make it.
Oh, we've got the wrong overlay. So it is our end of year, our last program for the year,
our last episode of the year. Yeah, look at that.
I'm
have a little year-end party.
Yeah, we are. I put together some survey questions for friends, and we sent it out.
You were very, very excited about that. I was so happy to see how
enthused
you were so excited.
I really was. And the answers are they're chef's kiss
answers.
Chef's kiss answers. But I thought what we would do maybe to start. So the questions, there were, how many questions did I put in?
3 or 4?
I think there were 4. Yeah. Let's listen to Yeah, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. The questions were, who is your favorite Rikishi of 2025 and why?
Right.
Thinking about all that's happened during this incredible year sumo, what was your favorite moment and why was that moment so important?
Yeah.
Look into the future of sumo. Share up to 3 predictions for what shall come to pass in the world of Grand Sumo in the coming year.
Okay.
And then the last bonus question.
Yes.
Who is the fanciest Gyoji to have worked the ring in 2025? Bonus points. What flavor would that Gyoji be based on their colorful kimono? And we got some good answers. So that was just a little Troy service.
All right. Just for me. I'm sure that you will enjoy those answers most of all.
I think I will, because this program was really about me. My question for you, though, Stan, is who is the Rikishi of 2025 for you?
So, if you had asked me this question, even in September, my answer would have been Sono Sato. How could it possibly be anyone else?
True.
Right? He came up. He wasn't even Ozeki to start the year, and he's Yokozuna. Right? He came up and he won half of the tournaments of this year. He won 3 out of 6 tournaments.
Yeah. Did he break some records on his ascent?
He was fastest ascent to Yokozuna, and lots of record breaking on his way.
Yeah. I agree. But now you seem to.
But then, meanwhile, we're watching Aonishiki come up and go, wow, he's doing really good. He's going to be terrific, and he just turns it on the jets and makes fastest ascension to Ozeki ever.
Yeah,
in the modern era, and wins a tournament where no one was expecting anyone but our 2 Yokozuna to be going for it. He just comes in and takes the tournament and continues to just dominate. Right? He really is, and we talked about this at our show at the end of the last tournament. I'm so impressed by how poised he is. But it's not like Takeru Fuji, who comes in and blows everyone away, and people just have to learn to deal with one thing. Aonishiki was in trouble a lot of times. He had a bunch of comeback wins in this, which is a lot of poise. And he's 21 years old.
That's I mean, he is literally, it is the dream.
Yeah.
I mean, he shows staying power. He's got stamina. He's got skill, and he.
Well, I mean, he does still have all the things we talked about before. He's still on his upward trajectory. Now, the thing the bonus he has is he seems to be still getting better. But
Yeah.
he also hasn't been around that long, so people haven't had a lot of time to learn how to deal with him. And it's entirely possible that the
They
best
cracked
of
his
the
code.
Rishi, at
Yeah.
least, will begin to figure him out some, and he may not be as dominant over the long term.
Yeah.
But you know,
That's
he's
just a
not.
what if. Right now, he's killing it, and that's indisputable. Like he's really amazing.
Yeah, but again, I mean, I say this every time we see someone who comes up and does really well in a one shot. But
Yeah, yeah. I'm
you
with you.
never know when they get to a
Find their
level
ceiling.
where it's not so much that they hit a ceiling; it's that they reach a group of people who can figure them out.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Right.
so this is his now. The fact that he's did so well in this, uh, first time in the Joy, first time in Sanyaku,
Yeah,
winning the tournament at
yeah,
Sakiwake, right? That speaks volumes for how good he is and how unlikely it is that he's going to have a major turnaround. But
yeah.
there's still a lot of really good wrestlers up here who've only fought him twice ever, and so that could make a distinct difference for
Well,
what we see from him. I
I
don't know.
agree.
When we get to our 2026 predictions, I'll have more to say on that.
Love,
Or
yeah, yeah. And well, I mean, and the thing is you're not alone. So
yeah,
the question, Jackie said, Ionishiki, he is pretty amazing to uproot himself, leaving his family to travel to a country where he didn't know the language to follow his dream.
yeah,
His use of rare kimurate is sublime. I'm overjoyed about his Kimboshi awards and promotions. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. No,
absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. Errol says Ura was my favorite this year.
yeah,
He was consistently entertaining. Ended the year with winning records, and proved to not only a technician but a historian of Kimurati.
right. And Ura has the last couple of times he's done a lot better here at the top of the Banzuke than almost anyone predicted he would be. He's
Yeah,
not going to be a Sanyaku regular, but I a lot of people predicted that he once he gets up to like Magashira 4 or higher, that he'll lose and drop back down, and that hasn't been the case. He's
he's
managed to maintain his Ura like style.
yeah, awesome. Here we go. I think the Rishi of 2025. This is from Kushina. Is Aonishiki. He went from Juryo to knocking on the door of Ozeki in just around a year,
Yeah,
plus winning the tournament in November. He's a fantastic Rishi with a fantastic story, and I think
yeah,
this year marks some of the most important milestones for him.
yeah. I mean, it's so hard. The problem for me is how much this just kind of overwrites the Onosato story. I think I look at them like I don't know. I can't pick. I think they're tied.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I think that is fair, but he is. It's such an ascent, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that it really does.
I
It
mean,
does sort of
Al
overshine.
has the sexiness of being European, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's one of the themes. One of the themes and the answers to our questions to the survey. People were really looking forward to seeing more of to see sumo have more exposure and more roots, let's say, outside of Japan, and
Yeah,
which is interesting because and I feel it is all in my mind. It feels all very much fans of the sport, love and respect its roots, and I do think that having somebody have a good showing, who is who is out from outside of Japan. I think that it is appealing to a lot of
well,
people.
but here's the thing: you say that, but it's it gets really tricky because the best wrestlers for the last 15 years have been from outside of Japan. They're Mongolian,
Yeah.
right? So uh, that shows our Caucasian uh, perspective because the Japanese they are just as much outsiders as the Mongolians are just as much outsiders as Europeans are.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you mean to say
What I
that?
mean to say is Japan has been dominated by people from outside of Japan.
I
Or
agree.
sumo has been
I agree with
dominated
that.
by people from outside of Japan. So those of people who put that forward are kind of overlooking, are really lumping all Asians together in one.
No, 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 no. I think here's what I think. I'm not necessarily comfortable. Sort of. I think what they're saying
I think that
is
came out harsher than I intended in
fair
saying. I
enough. Fair
think that
enough.
they are not seeing as clearly that that uh, that there's considered within the Japanese fan base
Yeah.
that outsider is outsider. Anyone
Right.
who's not born in Japan, outsider.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that they understand that. And I think that the well wishing or the thought really here
Hmm.
was more about seeing being able to see sumo in more places, being able to like know that you could go to your local
Well,
pub and watch sumo, and that
that's a whole other.
yeah, and that's really where they're coming from. And I think that it's just
It would be
in
nice,
dispute and not knowing, the ethnicity of any of the folks that answer the question. I
right?
think that we can reliably just sort of Occam's razor this, and that is Ionishiki definitely is kicking butt. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah,
indisputably. But let's jump to Call Me Khan,
call me Khan.
which is great. Ayan Ishika's is a remarkable story that highlights what sumo could be as a sport. The dude was a refugee from a country torn apart by war, decided, you know what, screw it, and went to Japan to make a life as a rikishi. He's not only successful, but he's made it to Makuuchi in 9 tournaments, tying Takara Fuji and Jokoryu, who I'm not familiar with, for
Yeah,
the fastest record. He was the fastest to get a Kimboshi, fastest to Sanyaku, fastest to Sekiwake,
yep,
fastest to Ozeki,
yep.
excluding Sukedashi. What was that?
No, I'm just agreeing. I'm saying, yep.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, the fast track guys. The dude has won a special prize every tournament since
Yep.
joining the top division and has never been demoted, never had a losing record, and has made himself Hoshoryu's biological father. That's so good. All praise to Onosato, but
Yeah,
Aonishiki is a remarkable story and is probably the Rikishi of the year given that.
yeah. I don't, I can't, I don't want to sound like uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
underplaying that. I think that it's fresher, and uh, uh, I think it's also easier um, to
Crow about?
overlook to overlook the Onosato. Like I said, in even as soon as September, as far as
Yeah.
close to September, it we would have been saying absolutely no doubt Onosato. Onosato happened to have a bad last tournament, and Aonishiki is peaking on the last tournament.
Yeah.
So that's why in looking at the whole year,
Yeah.
really can't separate them. And we'll see what happens in January. I'm very excited to see what happens in January.
Yeah, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. And then who is this? Yeah, there we go.
Yokozuna Onosato. Need I say more?
Nope, because we've said it all for you. But yeah, understood. And yeah, and I think that there are people, Stan, that feel exactly like you do. Like, I think we might be overlooking or not trumpeting, or at least they're tied. But that is what
Yeah,
people are
no,
saying about
those
that.
two. So look at it. Who had the most underrated 2025 is
Yeah,
Hoshoryu.
I think so.
Hoshoryu. A lot of people, gave him some grief about the not won a tournament yet, but he has it since getting promoted. Although he hasn't won a tournament, every tournament that he's done 15 days on, where he hasn't been injured, he's finished first this year. Every tournament he did 15 days on, he won the first tournament, he won in January, and
Yeah.
he's finished second in all the others. Right, so just kind of amazing. Right? He had a great year. What uh, what what he missed out on was a second U show would have really kept everyone from having said it, having had any reason to criticize him at all. But he's had a great year. He's had a great year.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel badly for him. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that it's just the fact that he was promoted kind of early in that way that he,
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had all those debates about that in January and March.
yeah. And what I feel badly about is that, people kind of have given him, it's almost like they're saying, "Ah, no, 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 Hoshoryu a nepo baby."
Sure,
You
he
know what
was
I mean? Like,
fine, but
yeah. Um, and I'm a huge
yeah,
Hoshoryu fan.
yeah.
I really, really enjoy his wrestling. I enjoy his personality. I think he's great, and I do feel badly. I feel a little bit like I don't know that, and this may be controversial. Forgive me, and I know
You?
I know you are a big fan of the shadowy organization, so I don't want to,
Uh,
but I feel like um, they didn't do him a favor.
well, yeah. Well, if, however, if they hadn't promoted him, he'd still be Ozeki right now. He wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean, it's
and there's plenty of case to be made. Is, you know what? That's what he deserves. He should be an Ozeki.
well, and I feel that way. I mean, I really do. I feel like he's got the talent and the skills to pay the bills. But I think that there is I feel like there's an undue pressure on him
Yeah.
to be a kind of you know I don't know, just because he's got to sort of prove that he deserves this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which and I see that sentiment echoed in places. But I do feel like he was given maybe a little short shrift, and
If we go back and look at that, what January, right when Teruno
yeah,
Fuji was uh, retired, he finally gave it up, and we had a lot of discussion about whether he should be promoted, and
yeah,
what we looked at when we decided after we looked at it, and I think most of the sumo world came to is that he met the bar for promotion, but he just met the bar, and
yeah, yeah,
so then that becomes into question. Okay, would have been better for him to not give him that pressure? Maybe, but it also would be he definitely earned it. So, um,
yeah,
no one saw Al Nishiki. The arrival of Al Nishiki changes all those conversations, right? Because
yeah,
with Al Nishiki having arrived, I think it becomes questionable if Hoshoryu could earn a Yokozuna promotion in the next year. Right? Is he going to do anything that's like winning 2 tournaments in a row?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
In a world that is Hoshoryu and Onosato and Ao Nishiki, I think we may see all of them having trouble winning 2 tournaments in a row. And that,
I mean,
so
you hope that there is that. I mean, it signals a change in the way that we have been watching sumo.
right,
Like, there's
right,
going to be a different kind of scenario. I think that
yeah.
also, who's our friend that isn't doing super good?
Kotozakura,
Yeah, Kota Sakura. Yeah. What do you think? I mean,
I think he struggled not just this year. He struggled for a while to excelled. Everyone kind of pictured him on this rise to Yokozuna hood, and he's had the yips at every level once he hit Sanyaku, and he's continuing to have that.
yeah,
And now injuries are starting to add into the equation. I mean, he's still terrific. I think if he manages to stay healthy for a little bit, he could be right up there in that same mix too. I don't think he will be for January or March, but he needs to prove himself.
Yeah, yeah. Let's take a look real quick. Oops. I am. There are folks with some opinions on that, and of
Yeah,
course,
about Kodazakura.
Ikoda Sakura and some other interesting ones. Let's dive in to some looking to the future, some predictions, if you will.
Okay.
Here we go.
Wait,
Okay.
that's the third question. What happened to the?
I figure we go back to kind of looking at what has happened and
All right.
but I'm feeling the pull
All right.
to talk about what's coming. And 1 second while I find where I left you in the tabs. There you are, deep in the tabs.
Not the
Share the
tabs. That's a
screen.
scary place.
You have no idea. All right.
I have a vague idea.
You might actually. You might have a pretty darn good idea. Okay, let's see. Window. I want this. Is this right? There we go. I'll share this.
All right.
And that's not what I
Okay,
wanted
go
to
ahead, share the
share.
screen.
Just
A
share
lot of folders and stuff.
a lot of folders. Take a look at my filing system. Look upon it and weep.
And weep. Oh, filing system.
It's horrible. How does he even work? The question, I have no idea. There we go.
All right.
I'm going to make this a little bigger. Okay, this is our buddy Masu Tarada, who
Yes.
joined us on stream. What was that?
Yeah.
What was he here for?
Well, he was here because he won 2 tournaments in a row and was very good at predicting stuff.
And you were like, I want to see, bring this man to me, is what you said. And so we did.
Exactly.
And
Like, bring him before me.
get over here. No. You, yeah. And we had a great, delightful time.
Yeah.
Here's what he has to say.
He says
Hifuji gets promoted to Makuuchi starting in Janakuchi. What?
Hifuji is in Jonokuchi in Jan. Jonokuchi is the 4th division.
I see.
And so he's starting in
Jonokuchi in January.
Yeah.
Got it.
So he's saying that before the end of the year, he's going to go from 4th division to 1st division.
Wow. Okay.
A bold prediction. That's a bold prediction.
He's got a keen sense of what goes on in sumo. He's very, very up to it in his to his eyeballs. So I mean, interesting. Okay, Aonishiki gets promoted to Yokozuna, becoming the first ever European Yokozuna. Okay, that's fascinating. Tamawashi makes it to Sanyaku for one basho
at age 41.
That would be cool. I think that would be good. Do you think? What do you think?
I think that given how much we've seen, so we talk a lot about the Yokozuna and the Ozeki, and we kind of don't talk as much about. Well, we do at the beginning and end of tournaments, as we're doing the Fantasy Oyakata game. We talk about how the Maegashira 1 to 5 just is cycling. It's people are coming up and flushing out of there, and then people who do really well at Maegashira 5 or 6 or 7, if they can get 12 or 13 wins, suddenly they might get promoted all the way to Komusubi because everyone else above them didn't do well.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're in a situation where that's about to change anytime soon. And I think that Tamawashi has some stellar sumo left in him at that rank. If he's just below the Joy, if he's just in that like Maegashira 4, Maegashira 5 range, and he gets 12 wins, 11 or 12 wins, and everyone above him loses, I can totally see him getting we saw a couple of people this tournament.
Yeah, we did.
One of the things I told you off screen, the Banzuke has been released for the new for the January tournament. Banzuke was released a couple of hours ago. and looking at it, and we had made some predictions about who might get bumped up because of all the losing records, and we
Yeah.
were right about some of them.
Aye,
And
nice.
so we had people who, when we see Fred Pinkerton's next chart,
Yeah.
it's going to have some big leaps up into the Sanyaku, into the top.
Very interesting. Well, that also means, friends, if we'll be dropping the link to the Fantasy Oyakata, which we'll talk about here.
Yes. I would say the Fantasy Oyakata is ready right now.
Like a little gift for everybody, a little holiday treat.
Few extra weeks to think about it.
So here's Jackie. Jackie says Mita retires.
Okay.
Yokozuna Aonishiki.
Okay.
An international broadcast deal.
Wow. That, of all the things we've seen so far, the international broadcast deal, that's the craziest thing I've seen.
You think so?
Yeah.
This is that hopefulness, that sort of
that would be great.
Yeah.
There's no way I would predict that.
But, yeah, I mean, time will tell, Jackie. And if you're right,
that
you
would
win
be
nothing.
Great. Although I think those last two are kind of tied together. If Aonishiki becomes Yokozuna, I think that suddenly puts the international broadcast deal on the much stronger on the table.
I see. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look. Tracy says Onosato will lose his aura of invincibility.
Okay.
Takayasu will be forced to retire due to injury.
Oh.
Aonishiki will get a rope.
All right. So you and I were talking beforehand.
Yeah.
When Tracy says get a rope, and we'll get the Atsuna, the rope belt that Yokozuna have. So Aonishiki will get. Well, that means Aonishiki will be promoted to Yokozuna.
That's right. Here is
Wow, Tracy has more.
That is, I do not believe this one's Tracy. I might have actually popped in the wrong. Kit says, Aonishiki Yokozuna. Yes, I'll risk jinxing it. I don't care, Sumi. I'm too excited. Asahi Fuji, salaried rank. Uro will at some point be Maegashira 4 West.
He will be specifically Maegashira 4 West?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's what they're saying. Very specific.
That's a very specific prediction.
Only time will tell. Now this is
Whoa, what the heck?
I know. Call Me Khan said, in Pokemon, your starters usually have 3 types: fire, water, and grass. Each are strong against it. We get a little Pokemon knowledge as well in all this. Each are strong against one and weak against another. Currently have 3 top dogs in sumo with Onosato, Hoshoryu, and Aonishiki.
Yeah.
Onosato eats Aonishiki's for lunch. Aonishiki, in turn, has Hoshoryu for breakfast with the side of cornflakes. And Hoshoryu has some ketchup when eating his fried Onosato for dinner.
Yeah.
One needs to figure out their weaknesses to really be the guy. But until then, select your starter and go see the professor.
Which plays into what we were just saying, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that it would be hard to envision any one of them winning necessarily even 2 tournaments in a row, right? They're going to be splitting it up.
Yeah, absolutely. You
I didn't have the Pokemon or the meals of the day metaphors going for me, but Call Me Khan did.
I think it's great, and I love that last line. One needs to figure out their weakness to really be the guy, but until then, select your starter and go see the professor. So good. There's a lot of good young talent in the Juryo pipeline and currently in Makuuchi that are set to make things really interesting next year with guys like Yoshino Fuji, Fujitokawa, and Fujir Yoga make themselves felt, and others still coming up. This is good for the sport. Yeah. Agreed.
No, we've been in these transition phases for a while, and we've seen the top stabilize the way we wanted to, and we've seen a lot of the big names from before are now getting older and dropping out, which means I think we're going to see this year we're going to see a real shifting. That I think a good third to half the Banzuke are going to be names that right now we're only uh, passingly familiar with, and
Yeah.
for all of them, uh, again, as you as someone who doesn't follow as deeply the
Yeah.
lower ranks, you are unfamiliar with. It's going to be a lot of
Absolutely
new
right.
names coming in and sticking around.
I like that. I do, and I especially, it is an interesting, bittersweet story of a moment when the older Rikshi retire and begin to kind of step into the next phase of their sumo life. Many of them becoming with their elder stock and
Becoming force ghosts and going to off with Yoda and
yeah, and it is kind of amazing when they do their transition out of sumo, they just kind of fall into a crumple of
right,
laundry.
as they just leave behind a little Mawashi sitting on the doyo.
Smoking mawashi in the middle of the dojo. Yeah,
Just
it's really
a
moving.
little naked force ghost standing there.
Just floating away to heaven, or wherever they go. I mean, do they just go up to being a
To the
boss,
big Heya in the sky.
right? Yeah. So exciting. Now, the other question that I asked was, what was thinking about all that happened? What was your favorite moment and why? And
Right.
so, Stan,
Wait,
what
wait,
would
wait, wait!
yeah?
Don't you want to hear my predictions?
I was. Oh, yes, I do. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was going to nail you with another question before we finish the last one. Yeah, give me your predictions.
I predict that I think that with everyone else, I think Aonishiki is going to get Yokozuna. Um, but I predict that Onosato is going to win 3 tournaments again.
Hmm.
So that's 6 tournaments. I've now said that probably 5 of them are going to be Onosato and Aonishiki, and I don't think Hoshoryu will get the other one. I think he's not going. He's going to get through all of 2026 and still not have a a uh, a Yusho as a Yokozuna.
Yeah,
Um, and I think people are going to give him a lot of grief for it.
yeah. I think they will. I think you're right. I think you're
Um,
right.
I think that uh, I like that prediction about Tamawashi getting it in Sanyaku. I hadn't thought about that, but I had thought about whether or not I wanted to lean on will Takayasu finally get a U show, right? Because he once again had another second place finish and another couple of really strong uh, tournaments. He still can do it if he puts together a, a good tournament and he has luck with him. He needs more luck now that there's more great people at the top of the Banzuke. But he beats Aonishiki and he beats Hoshoryu. He has more trouble with Onosato.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I think a one of my outside things is I don't feel comfortable predicting that he will win a tournament. He might, but I think that he will get another second place finish this year.
Nice. And yeah, I think that it pains me just to even imagine it because I'm just not a Schadenfreude guy, or not that this even is. Uh, this isn't a sort of the mighty have fallen kind of
Right.
moment, but just Hoshoryu kind of continuing to diminish.
Yeah, I mean, diminish. I don't know. I think Hoshoryu is going to continue to finish second a lot
Yeah,
and
yeah,
be in the
yeah.
mix. But does that mean he's diminishing? And
I just what I mean to say is there is a certain vibe or expectation that has been applied to Hoshoryu that he will continue not to meet.
yeah, well, so we had in the previous era, well, the previous big era, in the Hakuho era, there were 2 other Yokozuna that were with him for about half of his Yokozuna, Kakuryu and Atami. God, I always do this. I try and think of his name and it runs away from me.
Right.
Anyway, the other guy.
And the other guy.
Oh my God, that's terrible. And they each, when Hakuo was healthy, one of them would win a tournament in a calendar year, and
Yeah.
they would sometimes go 2 or 3 calendar years without winning a tournament. But they were still definitely Yokozuna, still respected as Yokozuna, and still beat the stuffing out of everyone else, and which is not a terrible place to be. But I think that's the kind of Yokozuna that Hoshoryu is lining up.
Yeah.
The type of Yokozuna career Yokozuna is Hoshoryu is lining up to have.
Gotcha. Now I've got my predictions.
Yeah.
Now I believe that another outsider will blow the lid off of these shadowy organizations surrounding sumo. It will be shocking, and it will be unexpected. And then
So your prediction. This is a shadowy prediction.
Yes, indeed. Yes, that sunlight shall be
Right.
shown the best disinfectant, and we will get to the bottom of something. Somebody will. I don't know. That's just my prediction.
At the bottom of what?
Of these shadowy organizations.
Oh, yeah, that's
Well, you won't understand until you see it. When you do, you shall know. And then New York Times best-selling author writes a book about gyoji and their flavors. I like that. Yeah, and that's really all I've got. Wait. That a show, a podcast focused on sumo will win an award next year. Yeah.
Hey, I know of an award-worthy show.
We are an award-worthy show.
Haruma Fuji is the guy.
Haruma Fuji. Gotcha.
Haruma Fuji. Yes.
Yeah. And bonus fourth prediction. Stan will remember Haruma Fuji's name.
Well, that seems unlikely, but
listen, these are aspirational. I think. I don't know what award we could possibly win, but I don't even know. Are there awards?
We could make one up and win it.
Then we will win an award tonight. The potties is what we'll call them, and we get first place.
Yay!
One out of one. Okay, great. So now let's talk about this. I am recalcitrant in that I don't have visuals for these, but they're good. Thinking about all that has happened during this incredible year of sumo, what was your favorite moment, and why was that moment so important?
Okay. Are you asking me first?
I am. Yeah. I want to know from Stan.
Oh, it's such a terribly difficult question.
Yeah, it is. It does sort of kind of force us. Zero in.
And again, the Aonishiki just throws the whole different kettle of fish into it, right? Because it's so exciting. It really is so exciting. But we also are right now still in the middle of it. I think I would have said for sure the arrival of Onosato and the fact that he came in and didn't really have a stumble. He came in and was ready to be a Yokozuna and step in there. And then the solidifying of, after everything we've gone through in the last few years. In fact, forget, I think 2026 is going to be Aonishiki's year. So I'm going to take him off the plate. I think it's the arrival of 2 new Yokozuna and an establishment of 2 very competitive, dominant Yokozuna at resetting the expectation for what the tournaments are going to be like. What we've missed for the greater part of the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. The greater part of my watching sumo. I mean, yeah. I'm with you on that. Jackie says London.
Yeah, that's a really big one.
Yeah, and her reasoning is it was important because it demonstrated a sellout demand for sumo outside of Japan, and it was important because it showed the JSA is opening
The
up to the
funny
world
thing,
outside.
I mean, the funny thing is that um, I don't. If you look at when they've done when they were last doing international tournaments, they always had great react. It's not like people in the late 90s or the 20 teens, the last times they were doing it, they'd
Yeah,
show up places and it would be great results. The problem is the the shadowy organization, right? The problem
yeah,
is the sumo association and whether or not they wanted to spend the money, time, and focus to continue doing those.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I think that the reason I think London, it, what it proves isn't so much based on the sellout, but based on the fact because of the internet, because of the different era we're in now. It when these big international things happened before, you still had to be watching a specialty sports show in order to hear anything about it, and that's not true. I think that it spread it much much broader,
it's
much
got a broader
wider.
footprint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because of the democratization of information. Uh,
internet.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and so I think that this is the first opportunity for that to happen, and the fact that they're going back to Paris this year or in 2026. Uh, Hopefully, it will continue to go on. So I
yeah.
think that that's a very, I'd say I agree with the pick. I'm quibble on the exact definition of why, but yeah, no, good choice.
Yeah, absolutely. This one is I just it is it's I shouldn't have read these. I should have picked mine and then, but this is from Kushina. Says my favorite moment was when Aonishiki walked down the Hanamichi and
Yeah,
hugged his attendant, and then they both started crying. It might not have been the most relevant to actual
yeah,
sumo matches, however, it was very sweet, and I think it can basically be lumped in with Aonishiki's Yusho win.
yeah,
Yeah, very moving, super moving, very sweet to see, and you love to see it. Um,
indeed.
uh, Kit says the Hosh promotion immediately followed by the Ono promotion. We are truly in a new age of sumo, and the competition is
Yeah,
fiercer than in recent years, as dominant Yokozuna are supposed as dominant Yokozuna are supposed to be. The talent is so dense at the top that upsets are just an expected element of chaos now.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. This is from our friend Masutarida.
Mm,
The three-way playoff between Hoshoryu, Oho, and Kimbozan
yeah, that's a big one.
led to Hoshoryu's Yokozuna promotion and felt highly improbable when Hoshoryu was at 6-3 at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that was
big,
big.
big moment. This is from our friend, we'll call it Charlie Brown. Onosato winning the most this year, 71 plus 2 playoff wins,
Yeah,
back to
I
back
was gonna.
Yusho.
I've got a thing I'm gonna bring up with that. I've got the list
Yeah,
of our most wins for 2025, and there's some. As Charlie Brown has now revealed, the
yeah,
top person is Onosato with 71 wins,
right. Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
back
pretty
to back
amazing.
Yusho, 3
That's
Yusho in a year.
71 out of 90.
Yeah, yeah. And then also mentions Inoshiki's first Yusho and promotion to Ozeki.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's see. We got a couple more here. Kami Khan says a tie between Hoshoryu and Onosato's ascension in Yokozuna. It's such a critical thing for the sport to have dominant top dogs, and these two are arguably the best of this generation.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll change. That'll make some real. We'll have a very interesting feeling as we watch next year's Basho's unveil
yeah.
Hoshoryu's winning of the triple playoff in January, a legendary feat that crowned a Yokozuna. That is from our friend Tracy. And
Mhm.
then Errol says Aonishiki's arrival in Makuuchi and rapid rise to Ozeki in the course of the year has to be the most important event. The most important moment was him defeating Hoshoryu for the Yusho.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
fans
yeah.
are hard. They are forged out of the fire. But yeah, yeah, there you go. That's folks, the favorite moments that they had and why, which I kind of, I'm still moved by the, you know, Anishki breaking into tears with his attendant is, I think,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
very moving.
Yeah, every once in a while. So the Rishi are famously very stoic, right?
Yeah,
Not too celebratory. Not every once in a while there'll be one that achieves something and then has to fight back tears, and that's
yeah,
always
yeah.
a
I'll tell you, that's one of the reasons why I'm such a fan of Hoshoryu is the end of the match is written all over his face. You can see exactly how he's feeling and why. I love it. Okay, so I think we've got one more question, and then
well. So
yeah,
let's
yeah,
stop, and since it
let's
came
take a
up,
break.
let's look at most wins in the year.
Yes,
So this was fascinating to me. And it also, well, so Onosato, most wins, 71. He's got the 3U show. He got, uh, um, he was only partially absent from one tournament, which is another part of it. So he didn't have a full 90 to get that, right? Because he missed uh, at least a day or two of of a tournament. Um, so that's great. Number two is Aonishiki,
yeah,
who who had an entire tournament. The first tournament of the year, he was still in Jurio,
yeah.
so he did not have 90 matches. He had 75 matches, and
Okay,
he had 56 wins. So for the second highest collection, with only five tournaments, he got the second most wins of anyone
looking at the
in the
numbers,
top
if you were
three.
just to share the numbers with me, I would be a little concerned. The
Hmm?
the the fanfare for Anishki seems like there's a lot of people who are really excited about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like, yeah, there's something more to be
Yeah,
discovered as far as
he got
combination.
11 and 12 wins in every tournament that he was in.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. And then tied for third, one win behind Aonishiki, are Hoshoryu and Kirishima. Kirishima
Oh,
very quietly collected 55 wins.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. You are right. People are being unnecessarily harsh on Hush, I
Yeah,
think.
well,
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Anyway.
I said earlier, I think that he had the most underrated year.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. And yeah, Anishki is winning and not by anything other than just pure talent. It's not like he's doing this on purpose, but there's
Yeah,
a lot of hype going on. It's not like he's hyping it up. As a matter of fact, I really do find his behavior in the ring. He's very honorable, very
yeah.
like kind of measured and
You know
clearly,
what? One of the things that is really uh, super impressive about him is how much work he has done to acclimatize himself, to study
yeah.
Japanese, to become a student of the history of sumo and the sport and what he's supposed to do. He he has on this fast track, but he has totally devoted himself to uh, to not just being great in the ring, but being a great rikishi in the way that sumo fans, longtime sumo fans, measure great rikishi.
Agreed. So, uh, okay, so here's what we've got left. We've got
We've
three
got
answers to the flavor, the Kyoji, and what flavor
Here's
they
what
would
we have left. We've got some candy
for
flavored
desserts. We've got,
Joe.
but we've also got the link to give out about
Yes,
Fantasy Oyakata. Um,
we do.
yeah, so let's do this. I'll drop the link in chat. So if you're watching this on demand, check the live chat. because it will have a link in there for you. It also I'll put it in the show notes as well. So that
So this is the fancy Oyakata form for the 2026 Hatsubasho, the January
very
tournament.
exciting. Yeah, and and maybe you are informed a bit by the conversation that we've had today or tonight on the program, and let that influence who you pick.
And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with our Banzuke show.
That's right.
Do a whole show talking about it.
That's right. That's right. So you can go back and change things, up until the last moment, or as I do, right at the last moment.
Well, you're not so much changing things as writing
as I'm just doing it, Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this, I don't know why it's so controversial. Stan finds much controversy in the flavor of Gyoji. No, I'm kidding, you really don't. But
I'm offended.
It is, I mean, they are some of the coolest. I will say this, that the Gyoji they were my gateway drug to really getting into sumo.
Yeah.
Because they're just wild, and their skill and their abilities and all the things that they do, it's pretty impressive. In addition, what they wear is just incredible. I mean, like, and so vibrant, and so it just makes me think of food.
Yeah.
And like candy is, and every once in a while back in the day, we would Stan and I would kind of guess on what we would think the flavors were of the Goji, and so we asked that as a bonus question, and we got some great bonus answers. Jackie,
back when we had video coverage in the show, we would very often pause just to look at the Gyoji.
That's right. I miss that, and I miss the audience. It's always wild to look and see who's in the audience and what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right. So the fanciest Gyoji to have worked the ring, and what flavor would that Gyoji be? Jackie says Senshin Kimura, or as he's known in my head, the Gyoji, formerly known as Trainee Sia. I'm a Tatsunami follower, and after squeeing like a fangirl after his first appearance, I felt immensely proud whenever he was refereeing. He's a deliciously sweet citrus UK sherbet, a blend of orangina, limoncello, and space dust, aka popping candy. I want that. That's pretty tasty.
Pop rocks.
Yeah, pop rocks. That's exactly right. Let me get back to, and here we go.
I'll tell you what, I love Jackie.
I do too. Jackie,
she's really, someone who she has said is relatively new to sumo fandom. She is dived right in. She's super knowledgeable and has a very clever way of phrasing things.
I agree. And so thank you, Jackie. You are our MVP. We appreciate you. Let's check out what Masutarida says. I really like the green and orange robed Gyoji with the light bamboo gumbai. He'd be pistachio with a hint of orange. I don't know, no name. And I tried to look them up by the green and orange robed Gyoji, and I did not get to anybody.
Well, one of the things is that they don't wear the same.
They don't. Yeah. But any notion as to who that might be?
No.
It did take me on a rabbit hole about the gumbai and what gumbai and what goes into making them, and that's the paddle, right?
Yeah. The war fan. And I do wonder, I think we may have talked about this in the past, but I've forgotten it. Why did they call it a war fan? Is it the fan that people are using in war? It was. That's what generals would have in feudal Japan. The lord would have a fan that they would hold up. But you see them in all the samurai movies or images. You see them standing there with a big fan, and everyone responds. That's what those are.
Interesting. I like it. Also, pistachio with a hint of orange. Pistachio. I'm not I've had some interesting experiences with pistachio, and horseradish mixes, and not my favorite, but
Well, I'm betting there would be no horseradish in there.
right, yeah, exactly. And then Kami Khan says, Kimura Hisan no Suke.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for blackberries.
It's
I think it's great. So fun, and I want to thank everybody for kind of hanging out and participating in all that.
Yeah. My
Fun
favorite, of
stuff.
course, remains Kimura Konosuke.
Yeah.
He's the stern guy with the loud voice.
Yes.
He
Yes.
dances around so nimbly.
That's right. That's right. Is he the one that we saw lose a little? He had a collision with the rickshaw, sort of, but all he lost was a shoe.
We've seen that. We've seen a few people lose shoes, but yes, he almost never gets in conflict with the rickshaw. He's so good at ring management. But yes, we did see one where he went dancing off, and his shoe went flying into the crowd.
That's right. That's right. I got to tell you that some of one of the things that I definitely want to do, and I just because I'm such a fan of their fan work, is just really getting into the nitty gritty of what the Yoji are all about. Like even just reading a little bit of information on trying to find the Gyojis that folks were mentioning, found some other stuff like that people they just casually sort of said, "Oh yeah, that's how they get their fan, or they inherit, or they do all this kind of stuff that's just not popularly known." I want to do, I won't call it an expose because they're clearly the clerics of this organization. They're the backbone, the keeping things honest. The other thing that I didn't realize, the Gyoji get gifts from the rickshaw. Like they get a handful of envelopes.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of rad.
Tip your waiter.
Tip your waiter. That's right. And that, my friend, is that's the year in review and everybody's sort of contributions to the survey. Thank you so much. It was very fun reading everybody's responses and sharing them. And my apologies if I butchered your name, but that is what I'm paid to do.
Yeah, well, and you do it well.
I do it well. I earn my check. What do you think, Stan? What do you think of any thoughts or remarks on the year that you wanna...
It's been I say I was looking back at it and I found it so hard to remember that Terunofuji was still active at the start of this year.
Right.
It's been a lot has happened this year.
Yeah.
Got not just one but two new Yokozuna. We've got a new Kotozakura wasn't an Ozeki when we started, right? So we've got a new Ozeki and now a second new Ozeki. They're coming into 2026 with two Yokozuna and two Ozeki, which hasn't happened in a really long time.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting. I think that we've got a year ahead of us, which is going to be just a barn burner of a sport.
That's what I'm absolutely excited about that. I think it is going to be amazing. And what I'm most excited about is that this is the first year that I really feel like this coming year, where I really feel like I understand the trajectory of the people and where they are and how they got there. And it's been a real, I feel like I've watched a whole cycle and understood it and was, so I'm looking forward to what comes next, in my evolution.
Yeah.
Watching
you're starting this year with a full grasp, not just on the sport, but on the competitors.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, full grasp, that's generous, but I'll be grasping at the very least. Yeah. And what a fun time we've had, doing the show.
Indeed.
Great numbers and folks watching and lots of fun participation. Really appreciate everybody getting into the spirit of things. And
we're closing in April or May. We will finish our third year of doing the Sumo Show.
Fun.
Going to our fourth year.
Yeah, going into our fourth year. Our Facebook group, of course, hopping and popping, and you can...
We have a Facebook group?
We do. We really do. Where did I put it? Here it is. Yeah. facebook.com/groups/the Sumo Show. And it's fun. Stan is posting there every day.
Well, I don't promise too much.
Every minute, and you ask questions and he'll be there.
I do. I check it. I check it all the time.
Yeah, but you do share some interesting stuff.
I share stuff during the tournaments. I post just about every day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, on the regular, it's closer to once a week.
Yeah. But it was something you should all be joining and having fun and hanging out. And
right. But people show up and ask questions. I will see it and I will respond. So that would get me posting more often.
Nice. Yeah. So get in there and ask some questions and be like, Stan, I disagree with you about,
You are so wrong. You know what? You're probably right. I am wrong.
The good news is it's not even that contentious. It's all fun and it's all a great community. Everyone's very polite and kind, and we enjoy that. We enjoy that about the sport, and we enjoy that about our community. And so thanks everybody. And Stan, thanks for being such a good sommelier this year.
Thank you for being such a good Padawan.
Dullard. Thanks for being such a good dummy. Absolutely. Well, it's my pleasure.
Every smart ass needs a dummy.
That's right. I'm here to deliver. Yeah, my friend, I think that's it for the year. Let's call it. Yeah.
Yep. We will be back in I think 2 weeks on the 4th of. No, that can't be right. We got to be back next week.
No. It's almost Christmas time.
It is.
Unbelievable. Happy holidays.
Is when it starts. So yeah, no, we'll be back next Sunday. We'll be back with our Banzuke show.
Well, there we go. This time next Sunday. Only, well, it'll be a new year and another.
No, it'll be the 28th of December.
Oh, the 28th. Shit. I don't even know what's happening. I don't know. Well, then, this isn't our last show of the year.
No, it's not. But we could talk about it. If you're not available, then yes, it is.
I can be made available. We'll have to talk to Santa. But this is the last show of this day.
This is the wrap up. This wraps up our 2025. Whenever we come back, we'll be talking about 2026.
That's right. So, with all that, shall we?
When I hear the drums, I know what to say. You have been listening to The Sumo Show, a live podcast about the art and sport of sumo. Your hosts tonight have been Stan Brown and Troy Hewitt. Production by Troy Hewitt. Sommeliering by Stan Brown. And initial charge by Tachi-Ai Troy. So until next week, we say to you, have yourself a merry little Christmas. Ciao, matane!
Bye!